Preview.
Hey everyone, this is Sean Pai, best-selling author of the book Miracle of Forgiveness. I'm here with Mathew Park, WNBF Pro, who's about to have this amazing contest that's happening called David and Goliath in Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. So I'm really excited to have Mathew here because in this video interview, he's going to talk about how he went about bringing to double his deadlifts. To go from 300 pounds to 600 pounds, which is extraordinary as his body weight. And as you see, like, you're not quite like one of those big muscle guys, Mathew. So we want to know, what's the story? Can you just fill us in? Tell us, how did you train for it? What was the training like? What was your diet like? What did you have to go through mentally? What inspired you? So let's just talk a little bit about it. So this is what you're going to learn in this video. And by the way, stay on this video because at the end of it, Mathew has a special gift for you. Am I correct?
You're totally correct, Sean. Yeah, totally.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. Mathew, tell us about yourself quickly. Where did you come from? And how did you come up with this idea of David and Goliath?
Thank you, Sean. First, thank you, Sean, for that wonderful interview. That was amazing, actually. So, guys, I'm from a farm in Alberta, Canada, and my town is 100 people. Okay, so it's a very small community. Not 100,000, 100 people.
100 people.
100 people. So it's very, very small. Basically, there's like 2 or 3 streets in this place. Okay. And I had this dream, like when I was young, I had, my first weight was when I was 12 years old, basically. My Uncle Mike got me into weight training at 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And I also had this dream of basically living in California, or even being Californian, being with the greatest of the great in the world. And basically growing up as a kid, I was a skinny kid, Sean. I was 115 pounds, soaking wet. I wasn't built for bodybuilding. I didn't have the genetics. I had like skinny rail arms.
It's funny because I was also 117 pounds, you know.
Oh, were you? Okay,
yeah.
so you're
you raise your hand if you were 117 pounds back when you were 18 years old. That would be funny. Okay, go on.
So there's more than obviously us right now, Sean, that are like that, right?
Probably, yeah.
So like you and I are obviously these average Joe guys, and I'm an average Joe guy, and I'm going up against a guy who's the Titan, known as the Titan of bodybuilding,
yeah,
Mike O'Hearn.
Over 1 million people follow him and like his YouTube channels, and I mean, you've seen Mike O'Hearn. He's massive. He's amazing. He's healthy. He's fit, and he's natural. That's the best part.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. He has 500 and some magazine covers over 3.5 decades, Sean.
Amazing.
You know, so it's a guy who's been around. He's kept his values in check. But my whole vision is about 7 months ago, Sean. I had this vision. I should go back one more step, actually. I want to mention to you guys is when I was 18 years old, I had this vision of wanting to move to California. I made this move. I think I told this to you, Sean. And I made this move to California for 9 months, right? I worked in this gym in Glendora, California. Beautiful gym. And I had to actually move back because I didn't have, when I went there, I had like $200 bucks on my bank account. It was very much, not much money at all. I went down there with basically just pure faith and belief it was all going to work out for me, right? But 9 months later, I had to move back with like a couple bucks in my account. Like I just didn't have the money. I had to get back. My aunt took me into her place, all that kind of stuff. And the dream kind of, fell off for a bit, right?
Yes.
So I just kept pursuing, lifting heavy weights, training hard, going to school, starting INBF Canada, being the founder of INBF Canada, starting a beverage company with my Uncle Mike. And it's moving with these businesses and moving with my dreams still, and lifting some weights, but it still wasn't complete, right? Because I was the guy who was bullied in school, like you were bullied in school, right, Sean?
That's right, yes.
So we both have these memories back from school. I was a kid who, brought a water jug, when I was 15 years old to school every day, and the people would like dump it out in the garbage can or put my food, somewhere else in the corner, right?
Yeah, and I feel like he's touching on an interesting topic, and it's like I've also been in the industry for a while, and I've talked to a lot of guys who are into like the health and fitness and muscle, etc. And what I see is a pattern is a lot of us also had this. Like underachiever, underdog, kind of background, whether it was our dad wasn't there or he wasn't fully like supporting us or give us the confidence we needed. Yeah. And like there's other people who bullied us, etc. And in myself speaking, just like you, is that I found a lot of like power in my routines and my discipline, and iron really saved my life. That's a quote from my good friend, iron saved my life. So it sounds like iron saved your life.
So true, Sean. Iron was a big saver for me, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us this. So here's a guy in a town of 100 people, guys, not 100,000, 100 people. So 1 to 100. So out of the 100, what got you out of the town to LA? Like how did you have the courage to say, you know what, I'm just going to go for my dream, and then have the dream be shattered in front of his eyes, and still have the balls to come back and go after the dream? Tell us about that.
Well, it's a great point, Sean, because when I basically what it took for me to get down there when I was 18 is basically just pure commitment, faith, and just doing it. I read muscle magazines. I was, so into bodybuilding. I was lifting every single day on the farm with my Uncle Mike, in the workout shed. I just had this passion. And I just knew if I just put myself out there, because, unfortunately, when you're in small towns, there can be some closed-minded thinking, unfortunately, right? So going out and being like, in LA is like almost like unheard of, right?
Absolutely.
But I went out there and I just pursued, and I believed in myself. Believed in myself.
Well, you know what? Now, what about your periods of, because we all can, like, it looks really good, but like for myself speaking, every time I go after my goals, I have all these self-doubts and fears creeping in, and like pessimism. Did you have any of that?
All of it, man. All of it, Sean. I remember myself, actually going on the plane to California and how scared I was. I was petrified because I had a place to stay, but I wasn't sure how that would even work out. I wasn't sure how I was going to make any money. I wasn't sure where I was going to live. Like, just all these uncertainties were coming up for me. But I just knew in my heart, if I just went for it, the worst that could happen is I come back to Canada again, And I just went out there and made it happen, right? And I just, when I was down there, I, met people. They thought I was like, it's funny because the gym I was actually at, they called me the Walmart greeter. Because I was like this guy who was always happy. They thought I was kind of a fake over there, right? Yeah. But it was just my personality, and that's why I felt what really got me to places was because I was a very outgoing person.
You know what? He's bringing up an amazing point. I want to pause here for the viewers because I've known Matt for about 5 years now, and I want to make a very emphasis, like where he's going right now to meet Mike, to make this big thing happen. It's quite extraordinary. But I want to emphasize the key point that I learned from him from this event is his greatest asset is not his self-control, is not his body. It's not that he knows fitness that well. It's not that. You know what it is his love and kindness and friendliness towards other people he meets. It's like, I met some crazy people with his guy, like we go to different events, whatever, and I met some people that I personally wouldn't like, but he somehow finds the best in people and he only focuses on them. And that's the thing, like, and it's also like, I've seen him how he treats other people, like going to coffee shops or going to places, he holds the door. And something like that, I really feel personally, is a big reason why you were able to overcome those adversities is because of your good attitude towards other people and the love you have towards other people. I would say that's a big part of it.
It was a big part of it, Sean. That's really what got me to where I was down there, because even when I was down there, I didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody that I knew. I had to use all of just meeting people and being me, and being vulnerable and being me. But that also brought the fact that people didn't know what to expect because I was so real.
Yeah, and even being called Walmart greeter or being bullied around, it didn't change who he was. He's still being who he is to this day, right? And now those skills that you had, right, are helping you build your business. Like you launch a podcast, you've done a nutritional company, you started an INBF Canada, which is a federation of bodybuilding. Like these are achievements that are extraordinary. It would take someone years to achieve, but you were able to do it, and now you're like a role model to thousands of people, right? So
yes.
So I just want to ask, how did you do it? How did you do the 300 pounds, 600? I mean, I was doing deadlifts today. I was only doing 2 plates, and this guy over here is like doing like all these plates. It looks crazy. So I want to ask you, how did you go from 300 to 600? That's like double.
Yeah.
That's I would say is like, isn't it dangerous like for your body? Like,
well, that's the perception. People think that you lift heavy weights like dead squat and bench and you're going to injure yourself. But that's all it's all a belief you put out into the universe. But the way I look at it, in learning from Mike's philosophy of power bodybuilding, and I learned this actually through the application of this power bodybuilding principle, and also the application of peak mindset in the mental philosophy as well, is it becomes a spiritual practice, Sean. It becomes a practice of enlightenment where you go into the gym and it's about your foundation. It's about building a strong foundation, almost like a foundation for your life, for your business, for your relationship, for your finances. Wow. The gym is the exact same thing. You don't go in there and do 10 movements as fast as you can. You go do one and you do it the best possible. You hit every angle, you hit all the muscles, and you go in with it's almost like the cage is like my sanctuary.
Yes.
The cage. I go in there, it's like my spiritual zone. And when I'm there, I'm Matt Park and I can be the best human I can possibly. It's like Bruce Lee mastered one punch.
Yes.
That one punch can kill somebody. Wow. Right? Not 1,000 punches, one. So you take, for example, like a race car driver, Jeff Gordon. He focuses on one way to race. That's how he wins races. When you're in the gym, you focus on those 3 core lifts and master those suckers. And that will make you a champion. So getting injured happens through the mind. and training improperly, going in there and doing silly stuff, and trying to do deadlifts and 10 more things on top of that, not warming up properly, not being smart about activating your muscle fibers. So you asked me a question about the how, Sean. I'm actually releasing a free product after the seminar or after this interview here that you can actually go find all the hows in this 12-step process. It's a blueprint, David and Goliath blueprint that I've created for you guys on the 12 steps how you can learn the mindset, the power of bodybuilding, the psychology, the supplementation, nutrition. It's for free. I give it away for free for you guys. That's what I'm going to explain for you guys the how. We'll come actually to that free product, Sean.
Yeah, so hang in there, guys, because Mathew has worked hard on this PDF, and you really don't want to miss it. And I feel like I want to take a look at that too and go over it. But one thing I want to ask, because I think it's very important, because if you're watching this video, just like myself, you probably have other goals in life, such as, I don't know whether you're in like school or you have a business or you have a job or you want to make more money, you want to attract your partner, whatever. But we all have other goals, and fitness is a big core part of our life as guys, as men, But I feel like I want to relate something very important, is that how is our success in our training can create success in all other areas of our life, So some people may say, oh, I don't want to train because I have other important things to do, such as I have a business to run, or I used to say that as an excuse, But one thing I realized, and I want you to tell us how you find it, is that in my experience, when I put my health and fitness and what I'm passionate about, which just happens to be bodybuilding and fitness and getting the best shape of my life, when I'm in my perfect 10, every area of my life becomes a perfect 10. So I want to ask you, when you put this focus on this contest and doubling your your deadlifts, how did it influence other areas of your life? Did it distract you from it, or did it add to it? Could you tell us about that?
Great question, Sean. It added tremendous value to me because it actually enhanced my mental toughness. It enhanced my ability to actually be more aware of my body, which actually strengthened my mind. And with that correlation of working together and challenging yourself physically in the gym, every workout challenging for more weight, better form, more execution, it helped me to realize how success is all about simplicity. Success is about a foundation in life. And I realized that it took me 6 months, Sean, to figure that out. Because before, I was all about doing as much volume as possible, everything I could in a 1 hour workout, and I was almost distracted by that. Yeah. I go in now, and it's so simple. My workouts are so simple. They're like 2 or 3 things. Yeah. I leave feeling empowered, and I leave feeling, and all of a sudden, my relationship's improved, our friendship has improved, I'm more productive, I'm reaching my goals better, I feel healthier, stronger, and more spiritual. That's a big one. I feel more spiritual because I feel my weight training now is a spiritual practice.
Yes. And I talked to Mathew, we have a mastermind group, etc. And, I was talking to him and I say, okay, so what do you do? Like, what's the first outcome you do? And he was explaining to me, he's like, I go to the gym, I do my workout, and then in that heightened state, he used this word, I thought it was pretty funny. It's like, in the heightened state, I do my most important outcome of the day. And I was like, this is so true, because when we do our training, it's almost like it puts all those endorphins and all those dopamines and everything is like pumping, and then we put this enthusiasm in whatever avenue we put. Even if it's a business, it's gonna rock. If it's a relationship, it's gonna blossom. It's like that enthusiasm, that passion ignites all the areas of your life, right? And that's what it is. Like one thing I've noticed about you, Matt, is that you're so passionate about this area. It spills over all other people in your life. Like, because of his passion, it actually fired me up to get back into the competitive mindset and that mental toughness. That's pretty epic, bro.
Oh, it is,
really,
man.
really inspiring.
Totally. And I got to thank you for all the support you give me, Sean, because I got to tell you, this guy over here, when you look at people around your support network, Sean, your support network when you're going for your big dreams is huge. And having someone like me, having Sean beside me and helping me, not from training perspective, I mean in life, like having a mastermind partner or accountability buddy, yes, or someone you can bounce ideas off, who doesn't judge you, who isn't jealous of your success, yes, who is not pulling you away from becoming the best human you can possibly be. That is one of the biggest lessons you guys have to take away from this whole thing.
Yes, and let me be honest here. We do have jealous moments. I'm sure you had it too. Yeah. Mathew comes and says, "Oh, here's what's happening. And I follow me. Well, what about me? I want that too. What about me? And what I learned to do, and this hopefully is going to help someone out there, is that I become first aware of the fact that, oh wait, there's part of me feeling that jealousy. Oh, interesting. And I reframe it. I'd be like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to feel his excitement. So my friend Boris, he has this thing, he puts his hand in his heart and he's like, he feels the other person's joy, So what you can do right now, like viewers can do, is like, you can just feel Mathew, farm boy, lived in a small town. Now, after a failure, 10 years later, going back to see Michael Hearn, training at this gym, hopefully hanging out with those people, like training with them for every day. how does he feel? He feels on fire. We can actually get his vibration right now. It's like as if it's happening to us. And then what happens is by us matching his vibration, we're gonna create it in our own life, in our own way. Like we are, whether it's like a business or whatever, that's gonna happen. So that's pretty cool. So
thank you very much. I really, that's really the essence of success. I feel is pulling it back towards what weight training can do, and even like the people around you, your support network. You've been a huge support, and you're right. I think the big thing when it comes to you guys, viewers watching this video right now, listeners listening to this video, is that look at your circle around you right now. Like right now, Sean, I've been friends for almost over 5 years, and we've been best friends. Like almost daily mastermind calls or daily accountability calls. And like when you have someone around you who can push you and support you, you're gonna go to the next level.
Now you may be saying, well, Sean, Matt, you guys are lucky. How the heck did you guys find each other? Because I want someone, like I used to say that, I want someone, I don't know where they are. I'm surrounded by jerks and assholes, And how would you say to that? What would you say?
Well, the number one thing I really feel is, like I know both of us have coaching that we do. You have one of the coaching you do, I have one coaching that I do. Obviously, as a resource, we can, provide value to people. But also, it comes to understanding the person you want to attract. If you want to attract somebody in your life, you must understand who you want first. Because you can attract anybody. If you're in a negative vibration, you'll attract negative people into your life. So your vibration reflects who you bring into your life. So first, identify the person that you want to have, or the people you want to have in your life, in your journal, or through a friend or whatever, and then you will find that because your awareness opens up to the possibility of receiving it, then it will start to come to you. Because that's how the energy works, is it comes through understanding what you want, therefore you become that energy field, and then obviously it will come to you directly in return.
So let me ask you, how did you build your support network? How did you build, how did you meet me? How did you build the people who are now supporting you to make big goals like this a reality, so that other people can maybe follow the same approach?
Great question. Initially, for me, it was I really identified the kind of traits I wanted to have in my friendships.
Okay.
The people I want, the traits in my journal. Like I wanted to have, positive people, good attitude, driven people, passionate people, loving people, caring, who contributed to people. People who weren't always jealous all the time. People who weren't always like, trying to pull you towards your dreams. I wanted people who actually were out there trying to make their dreams come true. And that's how we connected, because we can have amazing conversations for hours. How other friends I have around me as well. My wife, for example, is the same way as me. So I find what other people watching right now is, look for things you want in people, identify those traits, qualities, values, make sure you're that person first, and then you'll find you will attract people coming to you with that process.
Awesome. So let me ask you another question. Like now, I heard that you are really after being natural and health. That's important value for you. And from doing this bodybuilding scene for a while, I also know there's a big temptation to do steroids, etc. And maybe some people are wondering right now, they're like, hey, maybe he did some drugs, So let me ask you, first of all, did you do any drugs?
No.
And why not?
Because drugs, for me, I feel like I'm cheating. And I feel like I'm cheating not just myself, but everybody else around me. And I feel that it's almost like I want to enjoy the journey. I want to take on the challenge of pushing myself where my limits will take me. Because I believe our mind is truly the ultimate means of going to the next level, not a steroid or a drug. That's actually an external source to get us to the next level. Our minds are more powerful than freaking drugs.
Yes.
So I find that's why Peak Mindset, for example, I always tap and saying, talking about it, is that it's about tapping into the inner potential of your mind, tapping it and making it connect to the physical side. That's how my strength, for example, I would do certain techniques before I go to lift to help me lift more weight.
Yes.
And that's how I really feel is the beneficial, because steroids, if you indulge in that temptation all the time, your body does grow fast. Muscles grow faster than tendons.
Yes.
All of a sudden, tears happen, joints ache. 10 years later, you got health problems, all these kind of things, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And just so I understand what you said, which really resonates to me heavily, is like to go from 300 pounds to 600 pound deadlifts, it's a great achievement. But not because we lift 300 pounds more, not because of that. It's because of who you became mentally and in your life and with your lifestyle. And you know that you were there and now you're here. And the effect that's going to happen everybody else. That's the value, the real value is there. Because if you want to lift 300 pounds, you can actually go get a mechanical, whatever thing and lift it up. Like that's not the point, right? The point is to do it with yourself.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that when you do steroids, it's almost like you're cheating in a way. It's because that's not, you don't require as much mental toughness. You just do the drugs and you do this, and you still have to work hard, whatever, but not nearly as hard, and you don't get nearly as much value.
Exactly. I agree, Sean. And the thing is, too, is I find that when you do it on your own, and that's why I made a point of not using a weight belt or straps or anything, is to prove a point to people that, you know what, you can go in there and do it with your body, what you already have. You don't need no special ailments to make it happen. And that's my whole vision right now, because what you guys are seeing with the David and Goliath training you're going to see right now, that's my first step.
Yes.
The next step is to go to 700 pounds. And then more,
this actually blows me away. Just so you guys know, I was doing anabolic steroids for at least 5 years of my life. I did it from, I don't know, maybe like 19 years old till about 24 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was also doing a lot of deadlifts, because that's the thing, I was trying to build muscle. And I was using the belt and everything and the deadlifts, and I ended up injuring myself doing deadlifts, So funny enough, here I am doing anabolic steroids, using belts, whatever, and I ended up injuring myself. And then here you are, never touch steroids, never taken any drugs in your life, and without any belts, doing 600 pounds bench press, and you're basically deadlift, that's what I mean. And you're basically the same kind of size, like you know what I mean, like we're kind of the same height, etc.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, for you guys who are thinking maybe I should try it and temptation is there, let this guy be the inspiration. If this guy could do it, anybody can do it. So that's the point I want to make. It's just really inspiring.
Thanks, Sean.
So I want to just say, like, it's pretty amazing because only like 1% of the population has the courage to reach out to people, to ask for help, to invite them in. So I just want to, I want to say, what gave you that courage? What gave you that boldness to reach out to Mike Owen? Like, hey, I want to challenge you on this one. Like, bring it on. Like, David versus Goliath, David and Goliath trend. Like, how did you do it? Like, how did you get that to that level?
I contacted him on Facebook, I believe it was 10 times before he actually answered back to me. And then I offered the podcast interview as a means to give value.
Okay, let me pause here. 10 times! 10 times! How many times? Like, if I reach someone and they'll answer me the first time, I'm like, okay, this is embarrassing. Like, I shouldn't have said that. I feel insecure. That's pretty amazing. Like 10 times. Like, how did you do it once today and then do it tomorrow?
It was like whenever I felt like it, I just kept on it until I.
Like,
I
weren't you embarrassed? Like, weren't you feeling bad? Like, he's gonna think don't you think you're like annoying him or something?
I felt like I was annoying. I felt like I was maybe intruding on him, causing him. But at the end of the day, I just knew in my heart that this was the man I wanted to be mentored by.
Are you serious?
In my heart, it was like there was no ifs, ands, there was no mystery.
Wow.
It was like, this is the man I wanted mentored by.
You were just bang on. You were like. You would just keep doing it
because I wanted to be around the best. Wow! I told myself that he's human like me.
Yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears like me and you. So there's no reason why we can't get mentored by this person. We put up these barriers in our head saying it is impossible. That's all baloney. It's all beliefs. Wow! And that taught me a lesson because I was scared. I was fearful. I would walk around my freaking condo visualizing seeing Mike, being with Mike, training at Gold's Gym, visualizing lifting with Mike, and now it's happening. Okay, because when I first asked Mike David Goliath, he kind of brushed it off. He's like, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, you did ask him before?
I asked him before. The first coach call I had, I asked him on the coaching call.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he kind of ignored it. Right?
What was the answer?
Well, he just kind of said, I'll think about it. We'll think about that. You can tell in his voice it wasn't something he was, intrigued by. But I just kept on it. Like I kind of gave it a break for a few calls, and then I'd come back again and ask him about David and Goliath. And then eventually I'm like, Mike, I'm coming down to LA. I'm training with you. You've been coaching me on my lifting. I'm busting my butt. I'm reaching the goals I've achieved. I'm stretching my potential. I'm coming down to train in Venice whether you like it or not.
Are you serious?
And he's like, bro, come on down. We're going to make this epic.
Wait. So you just said that like that?
Well, almost like that.
Like basically. You be like, Mike, I got to tell you this. Here's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to do, I'm coming down. And but the thing is, at first he didn't realize it was David and Goliath. He thought I was just coming down to train with him. But I made these graphics, again, boldness again. I made these graphics and says, Mike, here's my graphics. Whether you like them or not, this is what I want. And he's like, I love the graphics. So
holy shit.
It's going out there and being bold in your goals and being vision and just going for it.
It's so inspiring because I also have mentors that I've been trying to reach, and I've reached out to them sometimes. And what I find is that like I like message the guy, and like sometimes he reads it and you see like on Facebook it says seen and then there's no answer. And then I'm like, and then my mind just starts going like blaming him or feeling like, oh, I screwed up or what the heck or the heck with him, But he didn't give up. He's like, He didn't swear at him. He didn't get mad at him, right?
Not once.
You just was like, that's okay. I'll just keep asking.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I feel with life is that we get so impatient with people.
Wow.
And I realize too that these people are very, very busy, Sean.
Yes.
Like I get Mike's schedule and he is nuts busy with nobody can offer this guy. He's always working. So he's getting messages after messages all the time. So you got to think about this. For example, like if you want to go get a mentor from somebody and out there in the world, whether it's whoever it is in life, these guys are crazy busy.
Wow.
You got to find a way to get their attention. And when you get their attention, if you have passion, you know what you want. They will see that. They will feel that. Because I can tell when I talk to Mike on the computer, on Skype, he can feel it. He's like sitting there smiling. He's like, in fact, he told me on the camera, he says, Matt, you remind me of me when I was young.
Wow.
And it's like your hunger, your passion, your dedication.
Yes.
And that's why it's like now it's like, I know this is only the beginning, Sean. David and Goliath, the beginning of what this story is going to create in the world of inspiration. My vision with this isn't just to lift weights. It's to take this and use the weights as a physical example of what we can achieve. How an average person, man or woman, doesn't have the genetics for anything or life or a business. If you put your head and mind to it, you can make it happen.
Yes.
That's the whole reason of this whole thing, Sean.
And it's all about that, because ultimately we don't just want the body, we don't just want the weights, we want to have an amazing life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We want to have people we love, we want to have the money, we want to have the freedom, we want to have the contribution, right?
Yeah.
And what Mathew is inspiring us today is that through mastering the basics, the one thing that we're passionate about, the weights, the iron, the deadlifts, right? Mastering that one thing, it can actually influence all the other areas. Which is an amazing, amazing discovery.
People would ask me and say, Matt, so have you done deadlifts and done a bunch more stuff? I'm like, no. I said, actually, deadlifts, I would do deadlifts twice a week and 7 sets every workout, sometimes 14 sets for one workout.
Wow.
And I just kept doing them over and over and over and over and over.
Yes.
Or almost where it gets boring to some people. But for me, it got more exciting because I would see it as a means of I would actually go and feel the bar. Mm-hmm. I would feel the muscles in my body working. Mm-hmm. I'd feel when I lift the bar, I lift my almost my life to the next level. When I lift that weight up, it's like I'm going to reach the next level in my life, go to my goals, improve my relationship, be a better human being in this world,
yes.
Contribute to the highest level. So the weights are only a physical result.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? He comes from another country,
yeah.
And he starts getting into bodybuilding, and he uses that platform not just because he became a pro bodybuilder, but just because his mental toughness, his confidence,
yeah,
right? Getting on that stage and doing all those things, then he was able to make all those businesses successful and become an actor, etc., and ultimately become a governor even.
Exactly.
So that's another evidence, just like yourself. That's pretty amazing.
Sure. Yeah, you got it. So
that's pretty cool. So for those of you who are watching now, you have some gifts for people to help them out with their lifts. Could you tell us about that?
Sure. I have it's basically called the David and Goliath blueprint. This blueprint is 12 steps. 12 steps that basically how I did this show, how I doubled my deadlift basically in a short period of time, drug-free. And do this in a way that you can do it too. Okay, whether it's a bench press, a squat, a deadlift, a bicep curl, whatever you want, even in life.
So what's the results that I can expect from this PDF?
You can double your results in less than a year or less, right? Okay. My results were less than a year, doubling my deadlift, which is almost unheard of, the amount of weight you can lift in, less than a year. Yeah. But the results are, if you follow these 12 steps, for example, for lifting, you're going to see incredible results in your strength. Incredible results in the gym in your lifts. If you just follow the simple steps I have in this blueprint, you'll change your life.
That's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this event and to seeing you and Michael Hearn and all the people that and your training. And what's the best thing you're looking forward to that?
The best thing for me is just to learn. I'm going in there with a whole learning. I'm going to be a sponge the whole week. I'm going to take and learn from Mike and Heath and Lance and Mona and everyone there. Because Heath obviously is an NFL player. He played 12 years in the NFL.
And by the way, for those of you who are watching, when you do get the PDF from Mathew, he's going to share with you all the things that you're going to be learning.
Yeah,
am I correct?
Exactly, totally. Yeah, it's going to be a relationship, guys, that I'm going to give you emails of what I'm learning in this process, videos of what I'm learning, just the whole journey, because this journey is just starting for you guys. But I'm going to give you the blueprint, what I used, double this so it can help you in your life too.
Yeah, and the best thing to do, I feel like it's so valuable, because if you're watching this video and you have a goal of maybe doing what he's done in terms of your deadlifts, your bodybuilding goals, your powerlifting goals, I feel like it's so inspirational to actually tap into your vibration, because by associating with people who are already creating success, we can actually feel success. Now, Michael Hearn is amazing. You know, the guy has gone far, you know, and it's very inspirational to me. But what's more inspiring, personally speaking, I don't know about you, but for me, what's more inspiring is to connect with guys who just recently made this peak quantum leap to success, you know? So it's like, I'm an average Joe, I'm average, and then boom, like I'm a rock star, you know? So if I could find a mentor or someone who just made it like the past 6 months, you know, the vibration is fresh. Are you with me? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
it's like, wow, they just made it. Whereas if you like go to a big time guru, although they're incredibly inspirational, nothing take away, but they're almost like 10 years ahead or 15 years ahead. Sometimes there's a big gap, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one of the big values for guys to learn from you, so.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Sean. And same goes for you, Sean. Like, I find that being around you and being around each other, you know, we definitely grow to the next level, right? And it gets very important to have those mentors around us that stretch us, grow us, improve us, give us love, give us support, and believe in us.
Yes.
The big thing I find, Sean, is that when you have someone around who believes in you, that's like the number one thing that people crave is someone to believe in them, not someone who wants to get jealous because you're becoming successful and like point fingers and try to find all your flaws.
Yeah.
You want someone who believes in you.
And the best part is, because I've been talking to Matthew, I know that you're building a community of guys who are following that. So if you have that passion, you know, you could reach out to Matthew and build this community, and we can create a community of guys who believe in each other so that we can reach our goal, we can double our deadlifts, reach our fitness goals, and ultimately making our life the life that we dreamed about.
Totally, Sean. 100%, man. Yeah. That's, you know, the coaching I have right now, the coaching you have, the coaching we have, you know, reach out to myself or Sean, but I know we both have coaching programs, and one thing I really believe is that I love to coach people. I love to help people reach their dreams, as you do too, Sean, as well. We're both the same way. And, you know, if you guys want more information on that, you know, contact myself through Peak Mindset, or contact Sean, you know, Sean Pye on Facebook, or myself on Facebook. And we'll be both happy to help you out, you know, either with your coaching aspect, whether it's your business, you know, financial, the fitness side, whatever it basically is to really step your game in your life to like the ultimate level of potential.
Awesome.
Right?
So that's pretty good. So I just want to thank you so much for your time and interview, and I hope you guys got tons of value from it. So don't forget, grab the PDF, 12 steps to doubling your deadlifts. I'm sure you worked really hard on that one. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of value from it. And thank you so much. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Preview.